Hey, what's up, everybody? Tommy Kodak here from kodakbeast.com, and I'm here to give you some tutorials on how I mix my rap vocals. But before I start, I'm gonna give you some tips, and I'm gonna advise you to do what I'm doing. You can see my desktop is pretty clean. I don't really have a lot of stuff, a lot of photos flying about. I don't have tracks on top of my desktop. Everything is pretty clean and in order. And if you go to my hard drive, I have 499.76. That's the capacity of the hard drive. And available, I still have 183.56 gigabyte of data available. Okay, so when I'm running Pro Tools, I don't really encounter RAM problems. But if you have a lot of plugins, you're gonna have some problems. But you want to keep your computer less busy. You know what I mean? Because if you have stuff in front of you, all scattered on your desktop, you're pretty much gonna have problems. Okay, so make sure your recycle bin is, all your trash. That's what we call it. I've used Windows for a long time, so I just call it recycle bin. The trash is you ain't got no trash. You don't have no trash or whatsoever to keep your computer RAM state pretty good. Okay, so I just want to show you one thing. Another tip. One tip is make sure your desktop and everything is clean. You have stuff in folders. You don't have anything on your desktop. The next tip is you have to be organized. Organization is pretty important. So if you come to my documents, I have files folder. Okay, so files folder. I have my graphic files, Logic files, my Mac wallpapers, and as you can see, everything is in folders. And I try to do this clean by kind, and everything is good, and nothing is clustered, and everything is in folders. So if you can see, everything is in folders. Mac wallpapers, my beads, outside beads, my own beads. Everything is in SoundKit. Everything is in folders, so I don't have any problems looking for stuff. Okay, so that's another tip. You could do that. And with Pro Tools saving, I just want to hit on this one. People ask me a lot of questions about that. If you about to open a Pro Tools new Pro Tools project, you have an artist that you want to record, you have some beats, you want to start a project. What you're gonna have to do is go to where you save your Pro Tools projects. Okay, so I have a folder called Pro Tools Mixes. Okay, that's the main folder, and in that folder I have current Pro Tools projects, and I have Pro Tools unfinished projects, and I have finished Pro Tools beats and some jingles. Okay, so where I keep my projects in the current Pro Tools projects, that's where I keep my stuff. All right, so Karen is Pro Tools project that I've not finished, but I'm still working on. Okay, that's why I keep my stuff. So you go there, create a folder. So as you can see, if I click on every folder, you can see Pro Tools saves all the files and everything. So the project that I've recorded something on, you can see I have the vocals and I have everything. I have the audio files, I have the hook, and I have everything in order. So I just want you to save your stuff in projects. If you about to open a Pro Tools project, all you gotta do is create a new folder, save it. When you about to open the project, go to new session, choose open new project, and scroll through. Don't save it in the folder that Pro Tools is gonna give you. Go to your documents. We in my documents, and go to Pro Tools Mixes, where you're going to save your stuff, current Pro Tools projects, and click on the folder you want to save your stuff. So I'm just showing you an example of how to do that. Okay, what you're going to have to do, this thing is very, very, very important. That's why I'm trying to hit on that. That's not what we're going to do today, but I'm trying to hit on that for people to You know, if you're a producer, you know how to keep your stuff. You can also save your stuff in an external hard drive. If you have an hard drive, you could always connect it to your computer. You don't have to take your hard drive, move it here and there. You just got to keep it in one place. You connect it to your computer, and you can save your stuff on there too. Okay. So let's say Trio, Days of Our Times. I don't have anything on. That's what I wanna. That's a new project that I wanna do. Okay. So you go to create blank session and click OK. So this thing is gonna pop up, and what you're gonna have to do is go to your documents, go to your files folder, go to your search for that folder. So that's what we about to search for, Trio, Days of Our Times, and it's right here, current Pro Tools project. So you go here, you go to where is it? Documents, current web, Pro Tools mixes, current Pro Tools projects, Trio, Days of Our Time, and write Trio, Days of Our Time, whatever, and save it. Okay, and it's gonna save everything in this particular Pro Tools particular folder. My bad. So that's what you gotta do. Okay, I don't need this. I just did it for an example purposes. Move it to trash. Move it to trash. Okay, and come right here, empty your trash. See, I do it every time. I don't forget. So guys, that's one tip. It's very important. Keep your stuff organized, and you good. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to Pro Tools right now and show you what I got. Okay. I have this session file open. So this friend of mine called Trevor, he wanted to do some freestyle on this beat. He really liked this beat. I'm just gonna play the beat for you to hear it. I mean, we took it off of YouTube though. So that's how the beat goes. You can see na 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 na. There's na 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 rolling all through the beat. So what I do when I get the beat from YouTube and stuff, and guys, if you're trying to get beat from YouTube, you gotta pick a good beat. Because if you don't pick a good beat, your mix is not gonna sound right. And if you're buying a beat, make sure you buying the actual file. You buying the actual project. You buying all the sounds in it. You buying the saved FLPs. If it's Pro Tools project, make sure you buying the whole project. Okay, so you could go in, or the producer or the sound mixer engineer can go in and choose some of the sounds and kind of like edit it. You don't want to buy just the beat. It doesn't help. It doesn't help the producers at all. Okay, so this is a beat that has a lot of stuff in it, and he liked it. He already bought it. Okay, so what I did was I treated it, because the bottom end, the bass, was too much, so I had to cut some stuff. So if you're a producer and somebody brings a beat and you don't really know how to, because you've done all that you can to let the vocals come out, but you can't get stuff, man, throw an EQ on it, cut some of the basses and stuff out. The stuff that you don't want, that's what the stuff that you gotta cut out, so everything will look clean. At the end of the day, he doesn't know that you cut it. You's doing your work. Make sure everything sounds good and you don't have any problem with it. So I cut some of the lows out, and it was still sounding pretty good. And I had a filter in it just to, I had a 1-knob filter, resonance high, and I did some automation on it. So if you come right here, you can see the automation that I did on the beat, and it pretty much helped blend in with the vocals, because some of the vocals was not coming out. We recorded this with Focusrite 2i4. I normally go through the Pro VLA, because the Pro VLA was kind of giving me some good quality, But this time around, I had some ground issues and some noises, so I couldn't even use the Pro VLA. So I used just the the 2i4 and the Rode NT1 to record these vocals. So it was not that great. So I'm gonna let you hear the vocals since you've already heard the beats. So I'm gonna bypass all of this and let you hear the vocals just raw. My bad, I'm sorry. Okay, so
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble.
alright, so first things first. First things first, when I hear any vocals first, what I think about is I think about the mistakes and what to do next. You can see there's a lot of muddiness in this. That the vocals sound pretty muddy and pretty bassy. So what I do is think about the defects and the problems and the clicks and the stuff in it and try to fix it. His breath was pretty good, so I did not really do a lot of stuff in breath, cleaning and stuff. So it was pretty good because I knew what I was gonna work on. What I do is normally throw a dehisser on it. Let's see, make this active and see. I'm just copy this, put it here. So I'm making stuff inactive because I want to RAM. I don't want to have any RAM problems. Okay. So normally when you're recording, you want to choose a lower buffer rate, right? Lower buffer size. So when you're recording somebody, you want to record them in 128 or 64 sample. I go low sometimes to 32 because I want to get all the vocals right, and you're not gonna have any delay problems if you go with a lower sample rate. But if you come here, if you've recorded the vocals and you trying to throw effects on it, you need a higher buffer size. So I go with a 1024. I choose 3 processors because I want my computer to get some breathing space, and I choose 95 instead of 99 to get my computer running other programs at the back end of Pro Tools pretty much easy. Okay, so first things first, I throw the dehisser on it. Around 23 is pretty good. That's why I go with sidechain. I choose the high pass filter and go with the 23, around 23 threshold. Negative 23, my bad. And it works pretty much well. Sometimes I go down to like 35 if the person has a lot of S's in it and it's worse. So this one I choose 25. It pretty work. 25, 26 works. So you listen through and you can see what I do with my rap vocals.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now down. Always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble.
Okay, so that's it with the dehisser. I was introduced to T-Rex, so I decided to buy their bundle, and I was impressed. I was so impressed because it did magic. Okay, so normally I just go through, put my EQs on, but I use the T-Rex system, T-Rex, and their plugins to do the EQ on these vocals. So I'm gonna bypass it and show you what I did. Okay, so what I did was, I mean, you trying to get some gains, right? So the T-Rax, I used the T-Rax compressor, and I compressed around 2.7 dB. This is called the T-Rax optic compressor. Okay, if you come to dynamics, this one, the T-Rax optic compressor, that's what I use, because I'm using two compressors. Okay, normally that's what I use. I use two compressors. I use a one with a little gain and another one with a high gain. So I input like 2.7 dB ratio, around 1.88. You know, just attack pretty low, and a little bit of compression around 6.8. Output 2. That's what I did. Second, I put the quad compressor. Okay, so this then, if you don't have T-Rax, it's good. I mean, you can still get a better mix from it, but you could just choose anything. The Waves plugins pretty much help, and they do all these, very, very subtitle effects on the vocals. Okay, so I chose this one. That's the quad compressor. If you come right here to dynamics, you're gonna see it. What's my computer doing? All right, and what I did was the threshold. I put it around 5, ratio and attack pretty low, 64 release, and a little bit of gain. And this is the master. That's the EQ. I love the sound of this. Cut some of the lows because it had a lot of rambleness at the low end. So I cut the lows to -9.8. I cut the mid lows to 90, around 90. Normally I choose around 90. I don't want to use this EQ too much, all right? Because I'm gonna use another EQ to cut some of the lows. So I use these settings, and it worked pretty much, as expected. And I use another type of EQ from same people. T-Rax. They have 6 stuff. So I use the T-Rax EQ P5 0B. That's right here. Cut some of the lows, and there's some subtle cutting in the mid session. So that's what I did with the T-Rax. So I just want you to listen with the T-Rax with no T-Rax on it.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you.
With T-Rax.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking.
So you see the difference, right? The difference is not too much, but I mean it works. It's still doing a lot. And I really like the gate. In the EQ. So it's pretty much cutting all the breathing and everything in it, and it helps. If you want to use the preamp on the EQ the P50 you can use it on the preamp on it, and it pretty much helps. It gives it some mechanic
girl,
sounding.
You nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking.
Okay, so you can see that the vocals is pretty clean right now. You don't really hear a lot of rambleness in it and stuff like that. Oh shit, I already had this here. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead, bypass this one and use this one. Make it inactive. Alright, the headset. It doesn't really matter. The T-Rax can come first. Normally I put the T-Rax first before the dehiss, or I dehiss before the T-Rax. Doesn't really matter. Okay. So with compressor, I like using the Renaissance compressor. Sometimes I go with the Waves compressors, but I like using the Renaissance compressor because it's pretty good. I like how it sounds. It sounds dope, and I really like it. So what I did, I put a low attack 558.7. release around 175 threshold, and I let the compressor kiss the vocals just a little bit. So I put a gain 2.2 ratio 2.67, and I never use the upto and the manual. I never use it. I always use the warm, and it gives it a warm kind of, tone to the vocals. So you can listen.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay.
Okay, so that's the compressor. All right, another plugin that I used, and I saw tremendous difference, was the plugin Alliance BX Refinement Harshness Control. So this actually controls the harshness of every vocal, and I use it for saturation instead of Pro Tools saturation. If you don't have this plugin, you could just use you could use this plugin, and pretty much it's gonna help. If you go here, let's see, you could use stock saturation plugins, and it's gonna help. I have a special one that I used to use, but I don't know where it is right now. But I think it's from Waves too. I use it for saturation purposes. It kind of softens the vocals a little bit, so I dump it a little bit around 5.76 and saturate it to like 32. And I really love the oscillator on this plugin, and it really helps change the vocals and makes everything sound pretty dope. I try as much as possible not to bring the depth, not to make people realize it a lot. If somebody's listening to it, I don't want them to realize that there's a lot of saturation on it. So I just put an oscillator on it, and kick it around 9.15 dB. Really helps. So let's go on to wave tune. Okay, everybody likes autotune. Don't tell me you don't like autotune. Everybody likes autotune. My artists like autotune on their vocals. So what I do is I put the speed to 0, note transition to 0. I don't want to do it right now because wave tune is messed up. It be messing me up sometimes. And I go through the root notes and check the root. So if you see the note, if you get the note that you're trying to if you get the note of the beat, of the vocals and the rap and the beat, you could choose your root note. If you know the root note off head, you could just choose it. And normally I go around 30 to 31 with no transition, and go like 16 ratio correction. Sometimes I go with like 86 around here, but this one I did not want to correct it, so I just put it around, with a lower ratio correction. So this with Wavetune, it worked pretty well. I will do a tutorial on Wavetune and show you guys how to use it. And another thing, see, I did a lot of work because there's a lot of lows and a lot of rambleness. I really chose these vocals because these vocals was messed up, but at the end of the day, the song was pretty good. Okay, so I came here, cut all the lows. I did not leave any lows. I cut all the lows and all the muddiness with a Renaissance equalizer. Okay, that's what I did. Another thing that's gonna help kick out the muddiness is the air kill EQ. All right, and I put the highs to around 2.46. Sweep around, just around here, and cut some of the lows out. So let's play it and see what it sounds right now.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle.
Okay, so it's here with the beat.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough.
So you can see the vocals is coming out pretty dope. The next thing that I did, put a vocal rider on it. Vocal rider kind of like controls the volumes of when he goes up, it tries to bring it, down. When it goes too down, I'm talking about sound wise. If he kind of rambles up, it kind of maintains the vocals, put it in the steady location. So normally I go around 1.3, just around here, just around below 0, because I don't want it to be too high. I don't want any gains from the vocal rider, so I just put it around 3.4 or the lower bottom, and around 1.2 on the upper bottom. And that's the sensitivity. I put it around 2, and yeah, that's what I do with the vocal rider. So you can see when I play it, it kind of kicks in.
Girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough.
So the sensitivity kind of helps it, because sometimes with a wave line, you don't see it. The wave line is kind of like small, like it's just like the other wave lines, but it's loud. You know what I mean? So the vocal rider sensitivity feature on it kind of helps, the vocals, kind of getting the high tones and the high stuff in the vocals and kind of cutting it down, and it really helps. Another thing that I did was BrainWorks. This it helps. Okay, I put the BrainWorks. It's called the BX Digital V2 Mono. Okay, this guy, what he does well is EQing the lows. Okay, so I just want all the lows out of the vocals. That's what you want, man. You just want the vocals off of the vocals, because this is a singing song. All right, there's another artist singing, below this chorus. So and he had a pretty smooth vocals. So I just wanted this one because he's not a singer. You know what I mean? So you trying to make a rapper sing. You know what I mean? So you trying to cut all the lows, make everything sound like he's singing. You know what I mean? So you don't need no rambleness. So I put this, cut some lows out. That's what I got.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just playing with the volumes because I'm recording. I just want y'all to hear what he's doing. So that's what I did with the EQ and compression. And I have some aux tracks going on. I'm gonna put it all on so you can see what I did. Flanger. Okay. Alright, everything is on, so I could go bit by bit and explain everything. Alright, so there's noise in his vocals. Okay, let me put this off, right?
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but
I'm just talking about regular recording noises, okay? To get rid of that, if I just purchased this, because somebody told me that whether you record it, you still gonna have some noises in the vocals. You can't get a crystal clear vocal, even if you using the top machines and the compressors and whatever, you still gonna have some noises in your vocals. Don't get me wrong. So what I use and the procedure that I use is simple. The NS1. Okay. So the NS1 from Waves helps. It tones down and takes all the noise from the vocals. This plugin is magic. It's really magic. They're not gonna take all the rambleness, but it takes almost 80% of rambleness off the vocals. So I create a bus. I don't put it on the vocal, though it has a knob that I could, I just go on, create a bus, because that way you could control how much, because it can mess up the vocals pretty bad. So I started using it on buses and create a bus, a noise bus. So that's what I did, and normally I put it around -15. Put again around -15. All right, and what I do on the bus is I put it around 32.8. You could go straight to like 70, but it does well. Even if I put it around 16, if I put the gain around 16, it does help if you put the gain on the bus channel all the way up. So I put it around 35. Okay, and hear the difference.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you.
You know what I mean? So the recording was not that great, but it took some of the noises out. Okay, what you could hear some crackles from on the vocals when I started playing it is the wave tune. So that's why I told you wave tune is fucking me up. What is it about wave tune that creates the crackleness is when you don't scan all the vocals, or if you scan all the vocals and you add another vocal to it creates the second vocals will create some crackleness. So this is the second vocal that I did. It's like I did the first vocal, ran it on, and I don't want to treat it again, so I added the vocals. That's why I'm getting some crackles on it. The second bus is the ride. So on the ride, let me go on and see. All right, so on the ride, I have Echo Boy, okay, from Soundtoys, and Echo Boy, I just have the default plugin, the default settings, and you should know the tempo of the song, all right, that you're playing. You're working in. So if you don't know the tempo, it's pretty simple, right? What you gotta do: click on this, play the beat.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so.
Let me bypass this.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so.
So when you play the beat alongside the vocals, you just tap T, and you're gonna see that the tempo will be changing and trying. The Pro Tools gonna try and look for the tempo of the beat. Okay, so
yeah. Girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up.
So you can see that this session, the tempo is around 120. Okay, so if you're working with delays, you now know the tempo that you're working in, so you're not gonna beat about the bush looking for the tempo. You could tap on the tempo in Echo Boy. You could also tap on the tempo to get a tempo, but you can see that the tempo is around 120. So cool. So what I did, put the mix around here, cut some of the lows out, and did this settings and chose 115 around that. I mean, now we know the tempo is 120, but I love how when I put it on 115 and it adds some stuff to the vocals. Sometimes I go a little bit like 5 or below the tempo to get some type of effect. It depends on what you're trying to get. So Echo Boy it gives it a long delay. It's good with a singing. If you have a girl singing on some song, it's good. So I created a bus and put Echo Boy in it, with this settings. Okay, and I put an EQ on it just to make the effect more noticeable. So with Echo Boy, that's how it sounds.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Yeah.
So you can see the delay kind of rolls in. Is it a lot? Yeah. So kind of long feedback. All right. So if you like that effect, you can use Echo Boy to get that effect. Try to put it around 19 or even a little bit lower, because I'll put another delay. So monoverb. All right. People say monoverb. Okay. On the dry track, I have a dry track. So I have the monoverb on the dry track. It's pretty simple. If you know the dry track, if you recorded the vocals on the dry track, just put a monoverb on it. And that's what I did. So basically on the dry track, I have a little verb on it. All right. You could record with a verb, but if you have the dry track, then you could play with how much gains you wanna, how much reverb gain that you want on the dry track. If you recorded your dry track with the dry vocals with the verb, then you don't need the monoverb. Okay. So the technique that I use with verb reverb, the technique that I use with reverb is I create a bus, okay, and use a mono reverb on it. So I use a stock dB reverb with a hall, and I put the decay around 1.5, 1.4, 1.5, and cut the highs, and no pre-delay. Diffuse around 67, and no LP filter, okay? And I put it on large. And I put an EQ on it, cut all the lows. So that's my mono reverb. That's what I do with mono reverb, to get me some metal reverb. But it's kind of is a metal reverb. Is a mono hitting the middle side of the vocal, but it has some space to it. And I have my stereo reverb. So my stereo reverb is the main reverb, okay? I have a true verb with a distinct 6.52, dimension around 2.46, room size. So you go with the beat and listen to how much gains you want and how much density you want your reverb there. So let's listen to the vocals with the reverbs.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down.
Okay. So as you can see, it's pretty dope. So what I do is I put some EQs on it, cut it lows. Sometimes I put a compressor, right? You can put any compressor, use any compressor. EQ, go choose our compressor. So another technique. There's another technique that I use sometimes. So our compressor, the Renaissance compressor. Okay. And you can sidechain. Okay. Go to the sidechain. And choose the reverb. Okay. So your monoverb. Okay. Choose your monoverb. Okay. And leave the settings like that. So now it's kind of ducking the vocals.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Yeah.
So you can use that on the main reverb or the mono reverb. Okay, not on the track itself. Okay, if you have a compressor, if you and you're gonna have ways to actually even turn the gain down or something, but you're gonna have to. It helps kind of duck the reverb and make it a little bit crisper. And when he speaks, when he breathes, the reverb's gonna kind of like come in. But when he rapping or when he's singing, the reverb kind of goes down a little bit. So you duck in. You can see the effect. So it's pretty good. I use it sometimes. And another delay. Okay. So with this delay, I use the long delay. Where's my delay? Where is my delay? All right. So with this delay, I thought I used the long delay, but I used the stock dynamic delay. I go around 4, play with the rate, feedback, and the mix, and that's it.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking.
With the beat.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Yeah. She got her own car.
Okay, so that's what we got right now. So I got these plugins. So what we have next is lo-fi, right? Lo-fi, I have another saturator. I have the stock lo-fi, the stock lo-fi, and I have the anti-alias whatever around 45%, and I don't have any distortion going on. The saturation is around 3.9, and I have the air enhancer on the lo-fi. Okay, so that's it with the lo-fi. It's another bus. So I have the exciter. I like exciter on vocals because it gives it some kind of, some, I don't know, but it gives it something, something cool, something really cool listening to. So the exciter I used Affix vintage exciter, and it's pretty good. The vintage Aura exciter is pretty good. It's gonna help you out getting your excitement in your vocals.
Yeah, girl,
so
you
that's what it.
nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fuck.
So you can see it gives it some digital kind of sound, and where you can see the lo-fi with the enhancer, the saturator, plus the vintage exciter. It gives it some kind of like, I don't know, it kind of blends in, makes it sound pretty dope. Another thing that I do is, I already have the noise here, so mute this. Flanger, right? So the flanger is, I just want to drift the vocals a little bit. I just want to make it sound a little bit muddy, okay? So not muddy, but a little bit kind of like gritty. Yeah, that's the word. So my bad, I'm not from the United States, so my accent kind of sucks. But just learn what you want to learn. You don't have to copy me all that I'm doing, but just learn stuff that's gonna help you, get a great mix. Okay, you want to be dope, learn. So what I did was, what did I do over here? What I did was, this is actually the isotope alloy. Okay, I use a whole lot of plugins, and if you go to utility, right, remove muddy mist. If when it in the process of removing the muddy mist, it takes some of the low ends and gives it a flanger effect. So it's not noticeable, but this alloy 2 from Isotopes is great. It takes the lows out. So you can see I'm always stressing on the lows, okay? I have my dynamics on, my limiter on to kind of limit what I'm doing. My equalizer on, and this is what I did on the equalizer. I cut some of the lows, duck it down, and cut some of the mid session out. And that's what I did. Okay. And on the flanger, I put it around 17. So this is how it sounds.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Yeah. She got her own car, got her own crib. She keep her hair done, hands toasted. Ain't worried about yours, she got her own shit. And I'm the same way, I'm on my grown shit.
Okay, so I had another vocalist recording some back end, addictives to it. So this what we came out with, and I know you might be feeling the vocals right now. You can see all the rambleness and everything, what the wave tunes. We having problems here and there, the glitches and everything is gone. The vocals is sounding dope and great and clean.
Yeah, girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or
So you could turn down the delay if you don't want. You could turn it down. If you could remember the ride, I could turn it down, make the delay, but I like it high, so because it's a singing song, you know. So on the master track, I have a couple of, but I'm gonna cover that in a different tutorial. This is actually, I don't know if it's a rap vocals, but I mean, he's a rapper. He doesn't even sing, so I call it rap vocals. But he actually rapped over here, and that's basically the same effects, the same treatment that I go through with all the vocals in this session. So hit it a little rap here. I want you to listen to it. Basically, it's just the same thing. So let me play a little bit.
no calls about when and where me and my friends go, and how she wanna cut like a Ginso. Don't let her round anything sharp like the outfit she wore last night at the bar. Try and get a rise, see the look in her eyes when I'm in it tonight. Know she gon' leave sore. We'll be fighting, we gon' need swords. Ain't like when the girl meets war. Now we clawing and biting, moaning and nighting, move from the bed to the floor. Smart like you came out of Cambridge.
See it? So this is the same effect. You can see it's the same. So if I call this rap vocals, yeah, it's rap vocals. He's a rapper. He's not a singer. All right. So I have a singer in between. Okay. Same. Everything is the same. All the buses are the same. So I want you to listen to it.
But it's easy to.
So right here.
Yeah. Girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Girl, you nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Either fighting or fucking, but it's always a struggle. First you trying to argue, now you want me to cuddle. Lay down, always trying to act tough. Just cause you bad, that don't mean you gotta act up. Girl, you ain't nothing but trouble. Make it so hard to like you, but it's easy to love you. Yeah. She got her own car, got her own crib. She keep her hair done, hands toasted, ain't worried about yours. She got her own shit, and I'm the same way. I'm on my grown shit. What she do, play games, not Nintendo. More like rocks in the window, calls about when.
Okay, so that's it for the tutorial. If you love it, just subscribe to my channel. I'm be doing some sick tutorials on this channel. And if you like my beats, just go to kool8beats.com. I don't really have a lot of stuff on there, but just visit it and see what is going on. I'm gonna do saving some of my projects and selling them, so you can see actually what I'm doing is no joke, man. I'm doing some great stuff. If you love it, if you like the process and how I go with my vocals and how I go with my mixing, if you want me to mix your stuff, you can give me an email. Shoot me an email. You know what I mean? And I don't charge a lot. I'm gonna make sure your song sounds good. So I'm gonna do another tutorial on the mastering phase, on what I do on my master track, and sometimes I render it and go back and master it again. On my master track, I put some stuff on it. When it sounds pretty good to me, I don't really go through the mastering process because sometimes you just lose all the you mix it so much that you lose all the the natural sounding of the song. So when it's sounding pretty good, I just leave the song like that. But if I'm having problems, then I go through mastering. Maybe I gotta up the volume or something. But that's my mixing tips for today. and I'm gonna do another tutorial on the singer. What I did, I did some subtle changes with the rap mix. So I'm gonna do another tutorial on it. So if you like my channel, just subscribe, and I'm gonna be doing more tutorials. Hopefully I'll meet you next week. Bye.